Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to AWTV Minecraft Edition. Today, we're planning on finishing the exterior of this tower. You can see, I will just kind of want to show you my thought process behind starting this, so then I'm going to get into it. So, what I have started with here is a nice scaffold around the top up there, something that will allow me to get up and get around the outside of this thing as I am detailing it out. So it's just wool, as we talked about previously. Wool is cheap, it's easy to construct, it's easy to deconstruct, and so it actually provides a real great layout, scaffolding, building material. Cheap wise is you can pretty much make 5 stacks of it, right? 5 or 6. I think 6 stacks of this stuff you can get from basically 2 iron, the 2 iron that it takes to make the shears right here. So this is about 3 stacks to make this. It's no big deal. So the plan is to detail this thing out. The cool thing about detailing on square and round objects is how simple it is. So on a round object, you got basically, at least in Minecraft in this case, on a round object you have 8 sides that you have to detail. And on a square object, you just have 4 sides. And so when you detail, you don't really have to do every single frickin' side, make it all different. You can come up with one basic design and then just repeat that around the entire thing. So what I do when I start out with basically is I start out on the one flat side here. Okay. 8. So I said it has 8 sides. One of the 8 sides is this diagonal side, and we're not going to worry about that for now because that's going to be a little more difficult to work on. So I'm going to start with this flat side right here, and then I'm going to work my way through in order to get something that is real nice looking on this side. Once I'm done with that, I'll do my best to repeat the same pattern on this side. So I'm going to do the flat side here and then come back to you. Alrighty, I think I've settled on a design that I enjoy. And again, this is just going to be on every single side. So what I have here is just on this one side what I'm looking at, and it looks good from the inside as well as on the outside, which is something that's pretty important. The other thing is I'm thinking I'm going to add a few more detailed pieces, maybe a couple like buttons here and fence right on these spots right here, just to give it a little more detail. But for the most part, I'm actually pretty happy with the way that this thing looks. And then after, of course, after we're done with everything, it's going to need windows up there. And there's going to be a few extra things that I'm going to do to maybe age it a little bit, dirty it up a little bit. So I am going to mirror that around the outside of this wizard tower. Big important thing that I need right now is wood, because I am fresh out of wood. So I'm going to head off, get the wood, and then you will see what happens when I am complete. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. That top area is completed. Now, check this out. I did the thing that I was talking about. I repeated that process all the way around. I also added a few extra details, little fence posts and things like that. Again, like I talked about in other builds, one of the things that you want to do is ease your transitions, while also providing sort of separation. So that's what this little circle around there was for. I also added the windows in. Looks pretty good, I think, with those blue windows. I really like those blue windows. So the next step for this wizard tower is to distress it a bit. Right now we have it looking basically brand new, like it's been there forever. And something that we're going to need to do is add a little bit of distressing. So how do we do that? Well, one thing that we can do is we can add vines to this thing. I think that's going to be one way that we can really adjust the look of it, is add some vines coming down, and you'll see how that works out in a little bit. The other thing I think we can do to it is just mess up these roofs a little bit. I think the top roof looks okay. It's pretty complex, but these bottom roofs, I think that they could use a few pieces out of place, just here and there. So I think that's going to be the next step. So I'm going to come through here, and I'm just going to add some vines. I'm going to do that by combination of actual vines, which will grow down, and a system of leaves that I have. I have a few leaves left over from building that vineyard, so I'll make those leaves coming down kind of look like they're bigger, more massive vines. So I will come back to you when I have all of those placed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. I finished the Wizard's Tower. Yes, so in addition to that stuff on the top that I finished that you've seen already, I have the vines on there. The vines, you can see I added a bunch of leaves to look like thicker vines, and then I added these other vines all over the place. So those are growing down, and I may at some point use a little bit of string to block them off, but it looks really cool right now, doesn't it? I'm very, very pleased with this build. The other thing you can see there is I kind of messed up the roof a little bit on those two buildings down at the bottom. Here, let me get around that. Yeah, you can see I messed up the roof a little bit, and the two chimneys have their little smokestack pipe thing on there. It looks just absolutely gorgeous. I really like the way that the blue of the windows contrasts with that green from the hanging moss and ivy coming down. So the other thing that I ended up doing, kind of as a byproduct of this, I did this as I was waiting for that ivy to grow, is I finished up that upper room, the enchanting room that we had started on earlier. So here is the room below that upper room. I don't know exactly what we're going to call it yet. Maybe a storage room or something like that. Or maybe even a sleeper room, like a bedroom. I'm not sure. I'm thinking I might block this off into a smaller room or something. I don't know. But I did this kind of cool looking mural on the ground. I don't really want to block that off. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do in here. It could just be some sort of gathering or meeting room, something like that. I really like the look of this opening in here, though. And this is our magic thing coming up. I have some ideas that gonna use to make it a little more dynamic. And I also said that I was going to be going into maybe some sort of a Sultana water temple in order to get that done. But here we are. Oh, there's a little, there's a cloud coming through the roof right there. Normally that little white spot isn't up there. Yeah, you can see it disappearing right now. So this is our enchanting area. I put an area for sitting down here, a little desk that you can sit down at. Also put some cool looking carpet around the area, as well as plenty of bookshelves everywhere. I also put a couple lanterns here. Excuse me for a second. I have to go. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to answer my call from my freaking wife wanting grocery lists. Oh, yes. You got to eat sometime, I guess, every once in a while. Ever heard of eating? Okay, so I actually kind of want to go back to talking about this guy right here. This is my beautiful lamps. I actually think this looks pretty cool. So especially with that orange blue color that we've got going on in here. So I've got that up here as well, but this is just a couple signposts, a little, trapdoor on top with nether rack, little nether fence going on right there. It looks pretty cool. And these, of course, are set to torch brightness. You can, I don't know if you know this about Magma Block, but you can set them to different brightness. I forgot that I left them windows open. Yeah, obviously there is my stuff that I have been cooking up, and you've seen all this stuff on the inside. The last thing that I'll show you is this super cool, what do you call that? Chandelier. So that's really neat. I want to go down. It's nighttime right now. I can survive pretty well at night. So I'm going to go down and show you this place from the outside because it's pretty gorgeous at nighttime. Okay, try to get to an area here where there aren't many mobs around. Goodness gracious, all the creepers around. Let's see. I think we're good for now. Oh, take a look at that. That is just gorgeous. Let's screenshot that right there. That is beautiful. I just love that look of that thing. Oh, that is so gorgeous. Yeah, so that is going to be it for today. I'm going to call it. That is the exterior of the... Oh, goodness. I'm trying to record here. Gosh darn it. That is the exterior of our wizard's hut completed. Good to go. So I think as we move on, the inside, I'll probably decorate that and just show it to you later on in the future. But for the most part, I think we are done with the Wizard's Tower. Next episode, we'll probably just be building a little stairway up to it, just for fun, stick a little stairway up to it. But I think at this point in the game, we're about ready. We have about enough stuff, enough things to do that I think we can start getting into the nether. Not the nether, excuse me, into the end. So I think expect in the next few episodes we're going to be going for the end, going to go fight the Ender Dragon. So yeah, in order to do that, we're going to need Ender Pearls from guys like this. So yeah, I will see y'all in that next episode. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching ADub TV. I hope you had a wonderful viewing experience today. If you liked it, please hit that like button for me. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. And hey, if you didn't like it, then please check out maybe someone like B00-100 or Grian. Those are two guys that I watch pretty frequently, and they're pretty good. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in that next episode of ADub TV.